Today, I'm about to talk about storytelling with data. The data that I'm about to talk about is about a comparative analysis of homelessness in Australia, focusing more on how to reduce the chance of being homeless in Australia. Dealing with Australian Bureau of Statistics data, this story is about a personal journey that I took dealing this data. The data only tells the story. This story starts by looking at the population growth of Australia over the years and comparing it to the homelessness population. As we can see that the number keeps increasing. When comparing it deeper to the population, in 2006, we can see that 0.43% of people are homeless out of the population. In 2011, it increased to 0.45%, and finally in 2016, it increased to 0.5%, which means 1 out of 200 people is homeless in Australia. Now, let's dig deeper. You may ask, what causes this number? Well, according to missionaustralia.com, the leading cause is domestic violence against women and others. So I further analyzed the gender, and it is shown that women takes 40% of the whole homeless population in 2016. Further than prior to this, we're going to analyze only in 2016 to keep up with the date. By further analyzing the data, we have to look at which area is it happening to. By looking at the geo map of Australia on the left side, it shows that most of the dot maps presents near the area of New South Wales. This geo map shows the numbers of homeless people in Australia. So the more the dot is, the more the homeless people present in that place. We can compare it to the right side if it's not too obvious. More statistical value on which state has the highest. And it turns out New South Wales has 25% more than the second best, which is Victoria. Why? Why do you think is it happening? And who are the most of the homeless people? Well, according to Sydney Morning Herald, most of them are teenagers. And this is true. By looking at the statistical graph below, most of them are actually teenagers by the age of 19 to 24 and 25 to 34. And why is it happening? According to the Sydney Morning Herald as well, that this is happening because of stress, of anxiousness, of feeling depression, pressure from the family that causes them to be homeless. But we needed more definite cause of this. So we analyzed it further. So when we look at the status, most of them are people that never married, homeless people. This is because according to Sydney Morning Herald as well, their wages are likely to go down, not up. As they get older, their superannuation will not be enough to support them after they retire. If they don't own their own home already, it is highly unlikely that they ever will. We can see that 60% of them are never married. Secondly, the numbers of people that has $400 income and below is frighteningly high. The prices of the houses are getting higher and higher. Welfare is not enough, and they fail to pay the mortgage, hence result in losing their house. Let's analyze it further on which city has the highest number of homeless population. As it turns out, as you can see from the graph, Sydney takes the lead over here, as it has more than 5,000 homeless people compared to the staggering 4,000 margin to Parramatta, which is only 987. So we analyzed it further and deeper again, and we want to analyze like what kind of job to avoid to have less chance of being homeless. As it turns out, laborers has the lead, and the best bet is to get a manager's position. Why? Because according to Jack Fielder in 2016, laborers are paid less wages. They do not have the right over the crop grown on the land. They get employment for only a few months because of seasonal things. And then finally, it's because of the job opportunities for them are shrinking because of the mechanization of agriculture. Thank you very much for listening. I hope it is useful.